The doctor is in. Oh man, that was bad.
Why am I not surprised?
But we're making the doctor's mask. What's up? So it's been a while since I made a gamer's prop. It's mostly due to the fact that 1, I was in school, 2, I was working on Zelda Parody 8, which turned out pretty good. I thought, check it out, description in the link. And 3, I'm just lazy, I guess. I don't know. So here's how to make it. Again, this is just a video on to give you like an idea of how to make it. You could either follow the tutorial 100% or you could take ideas from it, which would be awesome, because if you think there's some way you could do something better, do it. Anyways, this is how I did it. Okay, so step 1, you're going to get your balloon, you're going to blow it up to approximately the size of your head. I'm probably going to need to look in a mirror for this. Alright. Okay, so as you can notice, balloon is not really the size of face. So that is because my face has more of an oval shape than a round shape. If you have a rounder face, well, I don't want to say your balloon head, but anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of smush it in a little bit. And yeah, basically by doing that I'm hoping I kind of get more to my face. So what I'm going to do is get 2 popsicle sticks, put them on the side so there's kind of more of a surface area for them to be pushed in on, and I'm going to tape around that. And I forgot to mention tape at the beginning. Shoot. Okay, so I just kind of tape those into place. It kind of looks like a little alien or something like that now. And now I'm just going to wrap tape kind of gently around it, but to squish it in. And just a little FYI for everybody, if you put tape on the balloon, don't try and take it off unless you want this to blow up in your face and scare the bejesus out of you like it did me, so I had to blow up another balloon. Doop, doop, doop. There we go. I haven't looked at it in the mirror yet, so I might have to change this, but this is the general idea. So I've been using the Jack in the Box, or the Doctor in the Box as I like to call it, as a reference to kind of see how big the mask is to the face. And from what I can see on the Doctor in the Box is that the nose of the mask is approximately 3/4 of the length of the head. So from your cheekbone to your back of your head, about 3/4 of that should be the nose. I'm going to kind of wing it. I didn't actually measure this. I can always change it, but anyways. The nose starts off really wide, a lot wider than I thought, so I'm going to do this from about halfway between my cheekbone. So there we go. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not, but it goes from about here to here, which is a bit more, which is a bit longer than I thought it would be or should be. I kind of missed the point I had drawn out here. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to kind of cut it out, and I'm going to try and work with that as much as I can. Okay, so next you're going to get a little piece of the cardboard. You're going to bend it, stick it on your nose, and then bend it right at your cheekbones. Then you're going to cut this little excess pieces off here, and then tape it right on there, but make sure you don't loosen it up a bit. So right from your nose onto the balloon. And this is so when you make your mask is going to be too small and your face won't fit into it. Okay, so I finished this little piece here. Now, just like the beak of a bird, there's a little curve into it. I put these extra little flaps here because 1, it was too big, so I had to make it a bit smaller, and 2, now I can actually tape it onto the balloon. So I'm going to tape this right above the nose piece, and then I have to make the bottom part to kind of complete the beak. So this is what I got for the bottom so far. I don't like this at all. But yeah, it's all I can really think of for now. It kind of peels out here to stick on the bottom. I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up modifying this. But until then, this is what I'm going with. I'm not liking this so far, but I think I will be able to manipulate it once I start putting the paper mache on it. Oh yeah, the next step is a paper mache. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you get the point. Okay, so using that white glue I showed at the beginning of the video, I made a half glue, half water mixture of mache, or paper mache, I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyways, I haven't done this since like probably grade 4, which was a bit of a while ago. So, if some of you guys are watching, probably some of the younger audiences are like, that's not how you do it. Feel free to do it your own way. You could add flour to this to make it a bit thicker, which would be a better idea, especially for the mask. But I'm not going to go out and buy a bag of flour just because I want to make paper mache. So, dip it in. Ugh, gooey. Oh yeah, it's all flowing back now. Kind of get off the excess there and start slapping her on. Don't worry if you make it too big, because we'll be able to cut all the extra off later. Oh my god, these shoes are 50% off. Sick. Oh my god. I think I put too much glue in there because my hands are starting to stick together a lot. So this is what I got so far. I've been working on it for, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or so. I'm going to let it dry a little bit, mostly because my back is killing me from bending over this thing. And it's just not sticking as well as it is, or as it was. So I'm going to let it dry up just a little bit, and I'm going to go right back to putting some more stuff on, because I want to use all of this to make sure it's a really strong mask. And right now it's on this type of angle. I got to curve the beak a bit more though. Okay, so this is the paper mache mask. Spent way longer than I thought I would on it. For some reason, I don't know why, I decided to use like tissue paper for the last layer. I guess it was just tired of seeing the newspaper, but anyways, hope it does something. While it's still wet, I'm going to get a popsicle stick, and I'm just going to kind of make an impression all along the beak here, which in turn goes down into like a sad face type thing. Kind of bend some stuff up, do whatever you really need to do to kind of get it so it looks like it's two separate pieces. I think I'll have to build up a little bit on the outsides here. Okay, so it's finally finished. It took 2 coats and about 2 days of drying. The reason I think it took so long to dry is because, one, I kind of looked into the bad environment to dry in. Second, I think my paste was a bit too watery. And third, I used paper towel as the last coat, and that was just kind of smooth it out a bit more and to give it a more white look, obviously, because now instead of using about 4 coats to finish or to cover up the newspaper, it should only take about 2. So anyways, the bridge of the nose should be a bit higher, and there should be a bit more of a curvature. But as you can see in here, I kind of made the frown, I guess, or the details. And if you look at the actual mask, it's there. And I think I already said this earlier, but I'm going to use a bit of a darker shade of white to kind of make it more vibrant, I guess. Anyways, so you're going to pop out the back of the balloon, and then you're going to peel everything out, cut around, should be good to go, and then we'll put the goggles in. So anyways, you pop a hole in the back of it. Doesn't have to be as complex as I made it. But anyways, there you go. Just peel all this extra stuff out. Careful you don't break anything though. And yeah, it's as easy as that. Okay, so to end people's questions, because I can already see them coming in. Yes, this is a hidden blade. Yes, I made it. No, I won't make one and sell it to you. And yes, this is a fake blade. A lot of people seem to think it's real for some reason. I don't know why. But it's a little blade from the dollar store. So if you want to learn how to make it yourself, look in the description. I'll put the link there. It was a previous Gamer Props. Okay, so once you're done paper macheing, you pop the balloon, rip everything out. Obviously, the nose is going to have to stay in there because, you know, you paper mache it all around it, so there's no pulling it out without ruining what you've done. So I was going to cut it out, and then, like with scissors, and then I was going to use a knife. Neither of them worked, so I'm just going to shove everything in. There you go. Tape it on if you need. Okay, this is just a bonus thing. You don't actually have to do it. That's why I didn't put this in the materials you need. But I'm going to get duct tape. I'm going to put it all inside the mask. Just to make it a bit stronger and less jagged and etc. and less chance of things peeling off. So you're going to get your sunglasses. I got these at the dollar store. Cheap as anything. Humongous, which is what I needed. And I was hoping I could come up with a better joke before I use these than the pitiful one I used at the beginning, but I couldn't. So, take your sunglasses, or whatever you want to call them, your party glasses, and pop out the lenses any way you can. Then what we're going to do is get something circular. Now, it could be literally anything. Obviously, your face is going to be a bit of a different size than mine. So, I don't know, use whatever you want. I'm using a coil of solder because it fits right on the lens and it's about my eye, I guess, if you want to call it that. So what I'm going to do is put it on. I'm going to scratch in the outside of it and then I'm going to cut it out. I'm not sure I'm going to cut it out yet. I'm going to try and use this, but who knows. Okay, so I cut out the first one, and then I traced out the second one. I found that with a good pair of scissors, it's pretty easy to cut right through the material. It kind of flies off in chunks, so you have to watch your eyes. And then after I cut it, I just sanded it down a little bit. If you have a power sander, this would be a breeze, because literally you can just sand away everything, all the edges, within a couple of seconds. So if you have that, go ahead. I'm pretty sure it will work. I'm not positive, so if it doesn't, don't blame me. But anyways, if you go to the dollar store or any other store and you find just a pair of glasses with circular lenses, it's probably going to be your best bet. But obviously I couldn't find any, so I'm stuck with this one. So, here we go. There we go. 2 lenses. get your mask, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on my face, and I'm just going to feel where my eyes would be. And then I'm going to make a little incision with the knife, not while I'm wearing it, of course, but make a little incision. Make sure when you cut the holes, they're way smaller than this. If you make them too big, the lens is going to fall right through, and you've basically ruined everything you've done up to this point. So they can be a lot smaller. They could be peepholes for all you want. But I'm just going to paint around with black paint where the lens is going to go, because since the lenses are tinted, you won't see them. So I'm going to throw this on my face. I'm just going to kind of center it as much as I can. I can't really feel where I am. And I'm going to find out where my eyes are. So I can feel them right about here. So I'm going to try and mark that somehow. I'll probably use a pen or something like that. And then I'm going to cut it out with the knife and then use scissors. But again, make sure you don't cut it any bigger than this. Okay, so I cut the holes out. I could see fine through it. And I was looking in the mirror. I noticed something was wrong, but I couldn't place it. But I eventually figured it out. The mouth underneath the beak there is kind of off-centered on mine. So it kind of looks like it's crooked. So easily fixed. I just have to put more paper mache on it, or cut that off, put more on. Really not going to do that though, because I don't want to go out and buy more glue, because I used all my glue already. And once again, I don't really care. So next I'm going to start painting. So white paint, paint the brush, and I'm pretty sure you can figure out the rest. Alright, so that's my first coat. It's probably going to need another one. I tried to build up a little bit on the side where I want to... Oh, missed a spot. Anyways, I tried to build up on the side where I want to kind of fix the face a little bit. But other than that, I'm not going to worry about it too much. So I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to come back and paint another second coat on. Alright, so I've literally spent the last, 5 days trying to figure out a good way to kind of make it look like these are actual glasses on the mask. And the best idea I could come up with is using a hot glue gun. This is my mother's hot glue gun, so don't be commenting and be like, oh, it's stupid. But anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on hot glue really thick around the lenses and over the bridge of the nose, so it kind of looks like a pair of glasses. But first, I'm going to glue these right down to the mask. There, once you get that on, go right around the edges. Reload! Reload. And there we go. So, I'm not sure how that looks from the camera. Let's see. Well, you can't even see it. Alright, but anyways. So I kind of got it to look like a pair of glasses. I'm going to put a bit more on it, and there's all these little strings and everything like that, but once it completely dries, I'm going to cut all this off, and I'm just going to kind of carve all the bumps out of this and make it look a lot smoother and more like glasses, if you will. So after I put the hot glue on, I let it dry, and then I tried to cut it so it wasn't as bumpy, but it didn't work too well. So what I'm going to do is put more hot glue on, and then I'm going to flatten it down with the popsicle stick. So you could buy popsicle sticks at the local dollar store, or you could need lots of popsicles. It is all your choice, personally, I guess. So I just kind of came up with an idea. Since it's working so well here to kind of add it more depth, and, I don't know, 3D I guess, I'm going to kind of cut the mouth a little bit where I made the accent, where I kind of made it too droopy. I'm going to cut it and I'm going to fill it in with the hot glue, and then I'm just going to make a longer beak on the side to try and fix it a bit. Alright, so I glued everything down. It's smooth enough for me, I guess. I'm not really too concerned about it. Like I usually say, let me make the mistakes and then you guys correct it. I guess I gotta shake this paint. It's been a while since I used it, so. Alright, so, oh jeez. Paint everything that you just glued, basically, to make it black. There we go. Now let that dry. Let that dry, and it's probably going to need a second coat after that. Alright, so I let that dry. I looked at it in the mirror, and it's not looking anything like the Doctor's Mask, but like, I was basing it off the one that you can play in multiplayer. But I was watching a video from the intro of the game, and it was just a plain mask. So this is basically just becoming a normal plague mask, but they are used in the game, so it's still a gamer prop. So I'm just going to continue on the way I am, and yeah. So the next step, I'm going to shade in the mouth a little bit, just so it's a bit darker and you can see more of the beak. So I'm going to throw some white on there, didn't mean to put that much on. And then, I'm going to get the smallest drop of black, you don't want too much. Just want like one little shade darker. Then mix it together. There you go, so you're going to get a really, really light gray. And now, just where the beak comes down, kind of on the underside of it, I'll paint a little bit. And there we go, so that was pretty much just a big waste of paint for all that. But anyways, I think I might cut the bottom a little bit, just kind of make it more of a heart shape. Just try and still go for more of the multiplayer version, but not really too worried about it. But now it's almost done. Alright, so I cut a bit of the mask, now it's more, I don't know, narrow I guess. Looks a lot better actually in my opinion, but of course it's not as close as I want, so I don't really care that much. So what I'm going to do now, flip the mask over, and I'm going to put popsicle sticks, I don't know, probably about here with inside the mask, and that's just so when I eventually put a string through the mask, it gives it a bit more strength. So since it's a bit too big, I'm just going to cut it in half and glue it in with my hot glue gun. Oh no, that paint's still wet, isn't it? Darn it. So I put them right in, and then I'm just going to put a lot more hot glue all around it, just to give it a super seal, I guess, if you want to call it. There we go. So I'm just gonna go find some string and then I'm gonna go throw it through. So anyways, the next part, I'm going to get some string, I don't even know what to call this, a cord I guess, and cut it in half. Now, I don't know why, but for some reason every time I have a bit of string, like if I have an extra shoelace or I think I pulled this out of a hoodie years ago, I like throw it in this little drawer just in case I ever need it. And up until now I've never used it, but I'm kind of glad I've always done that now. So anyways, there's half the string, 2 halves of the string. Get your mask, and using a knife or the scissors, be careful though, poke a hole through on the opposite end of the popsicle sticks there. There. Now you don't want to put the holes too close to the edge, or else they'll be really weak, and it might rip out, even though you put the popsicle sticks there. So just go ahead and push your rope through, or string through, I don't know what to call this still, cord. Anyways, get the end of the cord and tie it in. If you're a master of knots, there's probably some crazy knot that you can use for this. I'm not a master of knots, I just keep putting little knots into it until it eventually makes a big knot. And that's the way I've always done it. So, there's one. I'm not going to film the other one, it's just going to waste more time, but obviously you can figure out what to do next. Alright, so this is the finished mask. Didn't turn out anything like I was hoping, but it was actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. It took me a lot longer. But anyways, like I always say and said multiple times throughout this video, if you see a better way to do something, do it. Go ahead and try and make it look way better than this. So I have the 2 strings on the end there. Throw it on your face and then you tie it around your head, etc., etc. I could see quite fine out of it. I could walk around, you could breathe in it. Just like a really quick history lesson, I guess. The reason they wore these was because of the plague. They used to put spices and everything in the beak, and then that's what they'd breathe, and they thought by doing this they wouldn't contract the plague. So I was even thinking of putting like little perfumes in there or something like that, just so every time I wear it, it smells nice. But anyways, there's the doctor's mask. I'm sorry it took so long to make. Sorry it took so long to like even get around to making a gamer's prop, and sorry it doesn't really look up to snuff as per usual. But anyways, vote on what you want next, leave a comment, and subscribe.